Welcome to this explainer. So, when most of us think of the Amazon rainforest, we tend to just picture these lush green canopies and beautiful exotic birds. But today, we're diving into the unbelievable numbers, the absolutely terrifying creatures, and some wild unsolved mysteries that make this place just as deadly as it is breathtaking. It's a massive, treacherous, and completely enigmatic world of its own. Let's get right into it.
Let's kick things off with a number that's going to blow your mind: 20. That is the exact percentage of the entire world's life-giving oxygen that comes from this single, awe-inspiring location. I mean, really think about that for a second. Literally every fifth breath you take is essentially a gift from the biological powerhouse that is the Amazon. And it's just doing its thing, completely naturally, breathing life into everything on Earth.
But how massive is this powerhouse really? Well, we are talking about an area covering 5.5 million square kilometers, sprawling across 8 different countries, from Colombia down to Brazil, Peru over to Bolivia. Just to put that macro scale into perspective for you, you could easily fit 7 whole Pakistans, 2 massive Indias, and a staggering 157 Dubais right inside its borders. So yeah, it's not just a forest, it is practically its own continent. And get this, if you decided to trace the entire border of the Amazon, you'd be hiking a staggering 5,500 kilometers. Making that trek would literally be the exact equivalent of doing 7 complete round trips from Mumbai to New Delhi, or from Karachi to Islamabad. Seeing it laid out like that really takes these crazy abstract geographic numbers and makes them actually tangible, right? It's just a nearly endless expanse. Now, inside that massive perimeter, you've got about 400 billion trees. And what's absolutely wild is just how eerie and impenetrable this forest actually gets. The tree canopy is so incredibly thick that even in the middle of the day, the forest floor is pitch black, like midnight black. And here's a crazy visual for you. It rains heavily there almost every single week, but the leaves are packed so tightly together that it actually takes a full 10 minutes for a single raindrop to fall through the dark canopy and finally hit the dirt.
So thriving in all that darkness is just an overwhelming explosion of life. We're looking at 40,000 different plant species, 1,300 species of birds, over 2,200 types of fish, 272 mammal species, and 380 downright strange, bizarre animals. But then, there's the bug situation. Prepare yourself. 2.5 million different species of poisonous insects. Yes, you heard that right, millions. It is a magnificent ecosystem, sure, but it is absolutely crawling with tiny little things that can do you some serious harm.
And that actually brings us to a darker side of the jungle. As we step down onto that pitch black forest floor, all that awe kind of turns straight into primal fear. We are officially entering the territory of some of the most lethal predators and pests on the face of the planet.
Okay, the very first threat you might run into, the green anaconda. Clocking it at 30 feet long and weighing a massive 250 kilograms, this is hands down the largest, most terrifying snake in the world. And what makes it a total nightmare isn't just its size, it's the horrifying fact that it can strike and swallow enormous prey totally whole in a single gulp. No chewing required, it just entirely engulfs whatever is unlucky enough to cross its path.
But, you know, danger in the Amazon isn't always giant. Sometimes it's incredibly tiny. Let's contrast that 30-foot monster snake with an insect that's just 4 centimeters long, the bullet ant. It's barely bigger than a grain of wheat, but it takes the crown as the world's largest ant, and its bite? Well, it's legendary for a reason. The venom causes excruciating, potentially lethal pain. People who've actually survived it have literally compared the intense, agonizing sensation of its sting to being shot with a gun. And yep, that's exactly how it earned its terrifying name. So, from the deadly jungle floor, we're going to plunge straight into the deep, dark waters. The Amazon River is an absolute giant of a waterway, spanning 6,840 kilometers in length and plunging to depths of 329 feet. This incredible river hides its own set of completely unique monsters just lurking right beneath the murky surface.
But before we meet those aquatic monsters, you really have to grasp the sheer, raw power of the environment they live in. 209,000 cubic meters of water blast through the Amazon River every single second. To put that overwhelming volume into perspective, that amount of water could instantly fill Egypt's city star's Sharm el-Sheikh, which, by the way, is the world's largest swimming pool, in an absolute flash. It's an unstoppable force of nature.
So what kind of creature thrives in all that rushing water? Well, when you think of dolphins, you probably imagine those friendly, playful ocean animals, right? Not here. The Amazon is home to 9-foot pink dolphins. Weighing in at 200 kilograms, these guys are massive, lightning-fast river predators. They have unusually large brains, which makes them highly intelligent. But, and here's where it gets scary, unlike ocean dolphins, this specific pink variant is uniquely known to become highly aggressive and has actually been recorded attacking humans.
And hey, if the aggressive pink dolphins don't deter you, the electric eel absolutely will. For 250 years, scientists have been documenting the terrifying power of this fish. Producing a maximum shock of 860 volts, this thing can completely shut down the nervous system of an animal 100 times its size. There are actual recorded incidents of humans being shocked and killed instantly by just a single strike.
So, knowing all of these terrifying biological facts, you have to wonder, how on earth did one man swim alongside these deadly creatures for 66 days? In 2007, a marathon swimmer named Martin Strel decided to attempt an absolutely unbelievable world record by swimming the entire treacherous length of the Amazon River. Seriously, how did he survive the alligators, the eels, and the anacondas? Well, here was his insane strategy. First, swim 10 grueling hours every single day. Second, sleep safely in a boat at night. But step 3 is the absolute kicker. His support team on the parallel boats would constantly throw massive pieces of raw meat into the water all around him. They literally used bloody chunks of meat as decoys to distract the giant man-eating alligators so Martin could safely swim by. Wild, right?
We've talked about the raw biology, the danger, and some incredible human endurance, but the Amazon has another side to it. It's hiding some deeply mystical wonders and phenomena that even today, with all our modern science and advanced technology, we still cannot fully explain.
For example, hidden deep within Peru's slice of the Amazon is a 6.5-kilometer-long river that inexplicably boils at 100 degrees Celsius. It is literally hot enough to cook any living creature alive if they happen to fall in. It just bubbles and steams all year round, yet there is absolutely no known scientific cause for this. There are no active volcanoes anywhere nearby to heat it up. It just remains a totally bizarre natural anomaly.
And right in the middle of these boiling rivers and deadly predators, human life somehow still endures in total isolation. Right now, there are dozens of uncontacted tribes living entirely off the grid deep in the jungle. They survive purely on traditional hunting, completely isolated from our modern advanced world. In fact, when researchers or aircraft happen to pass by, these tribes react to modern humans with sheer terror, treating us as if we were literal aliens arriving from another planet.
But honestly, perhaps the most profound mystery involves what ancient humans left behind: geoglyphs. These are massive, totally unexplained ancient signs or geometric markings carved directly into the earth. We're talking about patterns that spread up to 1.5 kilometers wide. And because the jungle canopy is so impossibly thick, we didn't even know they were there until very recently, when we discovered over 300 of them purely by looking at modern satellite imagery. So think about this. Over 300 massive geoglyphs exist out there. Who created them in the middle of this impenetrable jungle, and why? Was there some sort of advanced ancient civilization totally lost beneath the trees? What exactly were they trying to communicate, and to whom? The Amazon remains this incredibly beautiful, deadly, and deeply mysterious world. I hope this explainer left you absolutely fascinated and eager to learn more. Let me know if you want a part 2 where we can dive into those ancient origins. Until next time, stay curious.